see. If it's okay for you, then that's great. नहीं तो मैं chair चूर पे बैठूंगा, that's
No, no,
fine.
no, no. I prefer you like that. So you're sitting cross-legged now. I think the last time I sat cross-legged that
हाँ जी.
length of time when I got married. You know, and
Yeah.
I remember a week before my wedding, right? They were saying my mum was going, practice, and
Practice. Yeah. Chonkadi.
Jonkady, right? And
Chonkadi.
Jonkady, right? And I couldn't do it. And I remember I had aches and pains. I was a bit of a bigger lad then, I think, or I'd have put. And I
Yeah.
remember that. But like you for yourself, like you've learned sitting like that for your instruments. Is that how it
हाँ
works?
जी, हाँ जी.
Yeah.
Like tall was the only one we learned standing up. Obviously, you wear that on your shoulder, है with the strap. But everything else, जिदा बांसुरी होगी, it was very much sort of sitting down and playing. Tumbi Devraj Jassal uncle, I have to mention him because the guy, Maharaj Onadi Runu Shanti Bakshe na, he was just an amazing guy. उन्होंने भी इतना ही बैठ के, and I think it's very much an Indian musical thing, isn't it? Where you sit down. And this is sa, this is re, this is what. And I think sometimes people do find it difficult to sit on the floor like this. But I don't know, यार मिले ठीक है मैंने पर जितना मर्जी पुट्ठी चौंकड़ी मार के बैठा लो सीधी चौंकड़ी मार के बैठा लो मैंने नहीं कहूँगा.
Yeah, you seem very comfortable and happy sitting like that. And,
well, देसी बंदे हैं. You know what? I've tried. So I'm gonna just get straight into it.
Yeah.
I tried to copy people. Yeah. So I tried to copy like the people I idolize. And you know what? People are very, very intelligent. They see through it. They see that, oh, no, he's trying to copy Chamkila. He's trying to copy Bindrakia. He's trying to copy Jamla. And now I'm just kind of like at that stage where I'm thinking, you know what? Dude, this is me. I'm Bhangra, born and bred Handsworth. I can speak Panjabi, play a little bit of music, and I'm going to have fun with it. If you guys like it, dude, 100% I love it, that's fine. If you don't like it, dude, मैं थोड़ा जिहा change कर लूँगा ना, उस style दे नाल जितना तुसी कहोगे उदां दा बजा दूँगा. So that's why I'm kind of like, that's it, man.
That's you. Yeah, you are who you are, and but that's what I remember when you came bursting onto the scene, which you did. You just came out of nowhere. I thought you were just but a singer from India. I thought it's a guy from India, and then when I realised you're from Handsworth, right, from Birmingham, I was like, wow. That just always impresses me. But then I sometimes think, why does that impress me that you can speak Punjabi really well and you can sing? That shouldn't really impress me, right? But it does because, mere younger, I speak Punjabi to my mum, but am I teaching my kids Punjabi, here to Punjabi? Probably not. And it's a shame, really, isn't it? It's a shame. But your Punjabi...
ਸਾਡੇ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, the credit goes to my parents. When we was younger, when we used to come home, Daddy ਸਾਡੇ ਥੋੜੇ ਜਿਹੇ strict ਆ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ like very rule ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਏਦਾਂ ਕਰਨੀ ਏਦਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨੀ this that the other. So when we used to come home there was a rule that ਘਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਬੋਲਣੀ no English. Like ਜੇ ਕੋਈ ਆਇਆ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਬੁਲਾਉਣਾ ਵੀ ਸਤਿ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਤਾਇਆ ਜੀ ਜਾਂ ਤਾਈ ਜੀ ਜਾਂ ਭੂਆ ਫੁੱਫੜ whatever it was ਹੈ ਨਾ. And my cousins used to tease me about it. It's not just me, some ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ where you guys are speaking but you're freshies and that. But ਅੱਜ ਉਹਦਾ ਮੁੱਲ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਅੱਜ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕੀ
yeah exactly yeah
ਉਹਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਿਆ benefit like when people like yourselves when I go on stage sometimes people come backstage and they want to take pictures and they try to speak Punjabi to me thinking that I'm from India or whatever. That's fine and I love it because especially when like youngsters come in sat sri akal bank my photo khichni and they speak like that. I absolutely love it. Don't worry यार आज आप खिंचला फोटो कोई गल नहीं है ना इतना नहीं कोई गल नहीं हैगी. But yeah dude I think सानू सिर्फ पंजाबी नहीं any whatever your mother tongue is वो ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਬੋਲਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਆ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ if we don't speak it ਗੋਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਬੋਲਣੀ ਹੋ ਰਹੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਇਹ ਆਪਣੀ ਬੋਲੀ ਆ ਆਪਾਂ ਬੋਲਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਆ. But at the same time and in the same breath I would say we're living in England and we've got to appreciate it and we also have to speak English as well and learn English. पढ़ाई लिखाई सारी है ना इतना भी करनी चाहिए.
Yeah and I think it's the ultimate compliment to singers, I think. If you're singing in Punjabi and no one knows really if you're from India or from the UK or Canada, because that means you've got it down to a T, haven't you? You've got Punjabi nailed on. No one could tell.
There's still some stuff that I get stuck with. When the lyricists give me the words. I can remember when I did Shikari, the recording, and in there was a line, ਅੜੀ ਫੜੀ ਵੇਲੇ ਯਾਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੰਮ ਆਵੇ ਬੜੇ ਪਿੰਡ ਵਾਲੇ ਭੰਗੜੇ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛੀ ਗੱਲ ਸਾਰੀ ਨਹੀਂ and I couldn't get it you know the ਅੜੀ ਫੜੀ ਉਹ ਮੈਂ ਫਿਰ ਘਰ ਆਣ ਕੇ ਅੜੀ ਫੜੀ ਹੌਲੀ ਹੌਲੀ ਪ੍ਰੈਕਟਿਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਨਾ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਰਿਕਾਰਡ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ but yeah dude I don't know, if you give me a compliment, thank you. Yeah. My compliment nahi chhadda kise da.
Yeah, take them. And no, I genuinely, because I've heard a lot of young singers coming along. I mean, you're young yourself, but younger singers from like London and like there's a guy called Raf and there's Gurj Sidhu. And they've got these Desi vocals, you know. Prince is another guy. Prince, I've just recently got in touch with Prince, and I'll be speaking. He's another guy. He's just from the UK. I said to him, I thought you're from India. I never get it right. Right. One day I'm going to talk to someone. I'm going to say, yeah, where are you from in England? He's saying, "Nee, I'm Panjabi to." I'm not going to get it right. I'm not going to get it right. But you know, so like you said, the value of speaking Panjabi at home. Look, you know what it's given you is absolutely amazing, you know, and that's not even, we're not even started talking about the instruments. I mean, you know, some people pick up an instrument, become kind of very good at one instrument, maybe a doll or something. You've just gone for everything.
Everything. You know what? When I was younger, when I was in school, sachi gall hai, I was very poor at like padhai likhai de vich main bahut hath mera tang siga, bahut zyada. And when we was in English class, मैं 14 साल ਦਾ ਸੀ 14 and I was at school Holyhead school मैं ਗਿਆ so big up the Holyhead massive man Holyhead school ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਾ ਉੱਥੇ ਮੈਂ English lesson ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੈਠਾ ਸੀ and a teacher came in and they said that if anybody wants to take part in extra curriculum ਹੁੰਦਾ extra activity ਨਾ
yeah that's it
ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਤਬਲਾ lesson ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰਨੇ ਆ
all right
Mr. Singh ਨੇ ਆਉਣਾ ਉਹਨੇ ਤਬਲਾ ਸਿਖਾਉਣਾ dude ਤਬਲਾ ਕਿਹਨੇ ਸਿੱਖਣਾ ਸੀ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ English ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਨਿਕਲਦੇ ਆ ਛੱਡ ਪਰੇ 15 ਮਿੰਟ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਉੱਥੇ ਤਬਲੇ 'ਚ ਚਲੇ ਗਏ ਉੱਥੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਐਵੇਂ ਡੰਗ 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 ਉੱਥੋਂ ਫਿਰ 10 ਵਜੇ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ 'ਚ ਜਾਗ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਲੱਗਾ you know that's where it all started
the awakening for you the awakening.
Yeah and then holi I went on to Tolak and I can remember my very first performance was in Symphony Hall in Birmingham and I played Teen Tal I was representing the school and I played Teen Tal ਤੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਹਰਜੀਤ ਆਜ਼ਾਦ ਗਰੁੱਪ ਦੇ ਢੋਲਕ ਮਾਸਟਰ ਉਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਟੀਚਰ ਸੀਗੇ ਉਸਤਾਦ ਜੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੀਨ ਤਾਲ ਸਿਖਾਇਆ ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਵਜਾਇਆ ਸੀ ਐਂਡ ਫਰੋਮ ਦੇ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵੀ ਤੂੰ ਏਦਾਂ ਕਰ ਤੂੰ ਹੁਣ ਗਰਚਾਨਕ ਹੋ ਜਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਉਸਤਾਦ ਜੀ ਵੱਡੇ ਉਸਤਾਦ ਜੀ ਗਰਚਾਨ ਅੰਕਲ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਜਾ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਤੋਂ ਢੋਲ ਸਿੱਖ then after that he just snowballed dude it was like it's not being planned unfortunate ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੀ ਇੰਨੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਪਲੈਨਿੰਗ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ ਪਰ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਮਿਊਜ਼ੀਕਲ ਜਰਨੀ ਮੇਰੀ ਬਣ ਗਈ ਆ all I can do is ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹਦਾ ਸ਼ੁਕਰੀਆ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਯਾਰ ਤੂੰ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਬੰਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਰਿਕਸ਼ੇ ਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਿਠਾਉਂਦਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜਹਾਜ਼ਾਂ 'ਚ ਬਿਠਾ ਕੇ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਪਹੁੰਚਾਈ ਜਾਂਦੇ I'm just enjoying it dude
thanks to your dad isn't it he's making you speak Panjabi at home and your mum I mean even in my home right I remember when in the old days ਜਿਹੜਾ ਘਰ ਦਾ ਫੋਨ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ and my mum goes ਜੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਦਾ ਫੋਨ ਆਇਆ always say Sat Sri Akal, right? And I used to say Sat Sri Akal like kids do, right? And she said, nee, Sat Sri Akal, right? And right? And I'll make sure I tell my kids, you know, it's not Sat Sri or whatever, it's Sat Sri Akal, right? It's little things like that. And I remember my mum's friends used to say Panjabi boss on there, you know, your kids, you know, and it's because we had to. And my mum doesn't speak English. She doesn't. She speaks a little bit, but nothing. I still speak Punjabi to my mum. And even my dad, he was kind of a bit like yours, a strict Punjabi dad, right? And, that's the way we got brought up. And me and my sister we just had Punjabi. And I remember as I got older and I started getting into Punjabi music, I kind of knew what the words meant. And for my other friends, they were just listening to the music and they thought it was good. But I was kind of then. I felt good. I thought, you know, I know the words and I knew the words of the songs. And I used to sing the songs in the van when we used to go to football and became the de facto singer, Bolian singer. Right? And, but it helped me because in that way, I then joined Jugnu Bhangra group to do the Bolian. Yeah, I know. And I started doing Bolian. I did a few tours with Gobru Punjab there, right? And with Suki Bart.
Yes.
Yeah. I know. So that's how I got into it myself. And again, it was just because I used to speak Punjabi at home, and I realized these are my roots.
Exactly, dude.
And I just felt comfortable with it, and I felt comfortable with the music, and I started off listening to things like Apna Sangeet and seeing Gurcharan play Dol, and then I got into Gurdas Maan because I knew Sardar Gill was a Gurdas Maan fan. Yeah, so that's how I kind of learnt about singing. So I think that's a beautiful thing, and I think I'm talking to myself now. I need to teach my kids a lot more Punjabi and keep them.
Appe ho jandi yaar, appe ho jandi hai. Jera shauq hunda na, and the other thing is like my dad was born and bred in this country, so he's proper. When you meet my dad, he's proper like football lager, proper lad kind of thing. But my mom came from India. When my mom came from India, when they got married, my dad didn't know a word of Punjabi, so my mom taught my dad.
Wow.
And then obviously my dad realised that, you know what, my children need to speak Punjabi. फिर उन्होंने order लाता घर दे विच किसी ने नहीं इंग्लिश बोलनी बाहर बोली चलो जितना मर्जी घर दे विच सानू पंजाबी दा एंड टका के
it took to this extreme, didn't he? He didn't speak himself, and now no one's ever going to speak English in this house again.
Yeah.
I love it. I love your dad already because he's a proper Panjabi dad, right? It sounds like my dad was like, right? But so your sort of love for instruments, it was a slow sort of thing, wasn't it? You started getting into it. You learned the Dol with Gurcharan, and it's probably one of the most well-known Dol players that we've ever had, right? And
ਸਾਡੇ ਉਸਤਾਦ ਜੀ ਇੱਕ brand ਆ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਹਦੇ Rolex. Rolex. If you say anywhere in the world Rolex, they know it's a watch. If you say watch, they know it's Rolex. Same with Dol. If you say Dol, people say Gurcharan Mal. Gurcharan Mal. If you say Gurcharan Mal, they say Dol. ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਢੋਲ ਆ the instrument itself, rather than it just being ਖੜਾਕਾ ਡਗ 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 ਡਗ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਐਨ ਟਕਾ ਕੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਿਖਾਇਆ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸਿਖਾਇਆ ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਮੇਰੇ ਗੁਰ ਭਾਈ ਆ ਸਾਰੇ, ਸਟੀਵਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਸਹੋਤਾ, ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਸਾਰੇ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ, ਮਨੀ ਸਪਿਨਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਰਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਬਿਲਕੂ, ਦਵਿੰਦਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਚਾਹਲ, ਦਵਿੰਦਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਭੱਟੀ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਿਖਾਇਆ ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਵਜਾਉਂਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ, we used to feel proud, you had the ਢੋਲ there and you used to ਐਨ ਦੱਬ ਕੇ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਵਜਾਉਣਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ, we used to feel proud of it. So yeah, Gurcharan Kul, I can't thank him enough. ਮੇਰੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਉਸਤਾਦ ਆ ਤੇ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਿਖਾਇਆ, only I know. ਤੇ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਗਾਲਾਂ ਵੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਹੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੱਢੀਆਂ।
I'll have to ask him one day. No, I've met him a few times, obviously from my juvenile days as well, right? And but he seems to have. There's something within him, isn't there? There's a sparkle. He's got that star quality. Yeah.
ਉਹ ਜਦੋਂ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ, automatically he's got that energy around him. And it just goes to everybody else as well. And that's the main thing. But music ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਏਦਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗਾ, when it was lesson time, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਉਹ ਬੰਨ ਕੇ ਏਦਾਂ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਨਾ ਵੀ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਨਾ, if you got something wrong, ਚੱਲ ਬਈ press up ਕਰ, 15 press up ਕਰ, ਚੱਲ ਬਈ ਨੱਠ ਕੇ ਆ, go and run around the block, ਚੱਲ ਬਈ ਏਦਾਂ ਕਰ, he was very strict. ਜਦੋਂ ਪਿਆਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਉਦੋਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ, when we was doing good in something, he also with the same ਉਸੇ ਮੂੰਹ ਨਾਲ ਉਹਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਾਬਾਸ਼ ਵੀ ਦੇਣੀ, and he used to say, ਚੱਲ ਵੀ ਤੂੰ ਕਰ, ਤੂੰ ਏਦਾਂ ਕਰ, ਤੂੰ ਨੱਚਦਾ ਸੰਸਾਰ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਢੋਲ ਵਜਾ, ਨੱਚਦੇ ਹੱਸਦਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਢੋਲ ਵਜਾ, ਤੂੰ B21 ਹੁਣਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਢੋਲੀ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ, ਤੂੰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਾ।
Oh wow!
ਵਧੀਆ ਵਜਾਉਂਦੇ। So he used to push us a lot, man.
Yeah. And that's
still today, ਅੱਜ ਵੀ ਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਕੁਝ ਗਲਤ ਕਰ ਦਵਾਂ and I see uncle's name on my phone and I pick it up, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਗਲਤੀ ਆ ਹੁਣ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਫੋਨ ਅੰਕਲ ਨੇ ਕੀਤਾ।
Yeah. That's ain't wrong. But yeah.
ਫੋਨ ਚੱਕ ਕੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸਤਿ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਅੰਕਲ, you're right, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਹੁਣ ਗਲਤੀ ਆ, ਪਰ ਚਲੋ।
Just get Sat City in quickly and then let's see what he's going to say, right? And but yeah, he's one of them people that you get them, don't you? They walk into a room and they've just got the presence within that room, and as Stephen spoke about him the same way as well. And for you, obviously, then you start playing Dol with him and other groups, and so you play with B21 as well, the Dol.
ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਮੈਂ B21 ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਟੂਰ ਲਾਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ। We went to Calgary, Toronto, Montreal, Detroit, Vancouver, Singapore, Malaysia, ਸਾਰੇ ਘੁੰਮੇ ਆ B21 ਦੇ ਨਾਲ।
Wow.
And to be fair, that was probably the best time of my life. I just left school. I didn't want to go to college. I said to my mom, ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਮੈਂ ਕਾਲਜ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਣਾ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣਾ, ਹੈ ਨਾ। She said, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਪੁੱਤ, ਤੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਡੈਡੀ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸ ਦੇ। ਹੁਣ ਡੈਡੀ ਨੂੰ ਕੌਣ ਦੱਸੇ? ਹੌਸਲਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਕਰਕੇ। So then I went touring with B21, man.
Wow.
And I had the time of my life.
Yeah. What was that? Was that the original B21 with all of them? Yeah.
ਨਹੀਂ, ਬੂਟਾ ਭਾਜੀ, ਵੱਡੇ ਭਾਜੀ ਬੂਟਾ ਭਾਜੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਬਾਲੀ ਜਗ ਪਾਓ, ਬੰਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਟੌਪ ਦਾ ਤੇ ਜੱਸੀ ਭਾਜੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਗਏ ਟੂਰ ਤੇ ਇਟ ਵਾਸ ਮੀ ਐਂਡ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਹਾਵੀ ਸੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੇ ਕਈ ਵਾਰ ਸਾਈਮਨ ਸੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਦੋ ਢੋਲੀ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਟੂਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਐਂਡ man ਵੱਡੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਹੋਟਲਾਂ 'ਚ ਰਹੇ I just left school so you can imagine being 18 19 something like that and you were stopping in these massive hotels and stuff. First time I went on tour I had my tool in one hand and I had my techi in the other hand in it and we got to the wherever it was Canada whatever it was and they goes okay we got off the plane checked out and everything main ta bahut excited siga and we didn't have any phones or anything to take pictures in them days it was just like excitement and I see them ਉੱਥੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਗਏ and this guy came and he goes give me your tool and stuff and I was like I'm not going to give you my tool and he goes give me I'll put it in the van I goes no I'll take it with me then Butta Paji he goes tu de de nu tool te techi so I gave it to him walked around the corner there was a limousine parked there
wow
ਉਹ limousine 'ਚ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਟਾਵਰ ਨਾਲ ਹੈ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਨਾ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਹੁੰਦੇ
that's crazy I mean like you said that in them times there wasn't no mobile phones to record this so it's just beautiful memories that you have you know it's something you take with you it's in your heart you know you remember them times you know when you meet them guys again you say oh remember we went on that tour and someone wanted to take my doll off me right and we had to explain to you that he's going to take your doll and put it away
you don't even need to say it I mean I was with Butta Paji a few weeks ago 2 ਹਫ਼ਤੇ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਮੈਂ legend band ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਡਾ program ਸੀਗਾ and we don't even need to say anything to each other we just look at each other and we know what we're saying na or link jiha baniya so
and you'll have that forever that's always there that link's going to always and you know B21 was the boy band weren't they of Bhangra music weren't they were and so you're now fully within the industry now within playing dol and was you learning other instruments at the time as well or
nahi dol ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ dol when I was learning how to play dol ਉਦੋਂ ਸਿਰਫ dol ਤੇ ਸੀਗਾ and I played with Bhangra team Nachte Haste and Nachta Sansara played maybe 12 15 years
wow
and to be honest with you that's where I really cut my teeth you know when you go on stage how you go on stage how you get the levels right how you speak to people that's a big thing music that's fine but you know how you speak to people ek hunda you walk on stage oh taar de menu main ਢੋਲ ਲਾਉਣਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ ek hunda you go on stage and say ਭਾਜੀ ਬੇਸ ਬੂਸ ਸੈੱਟ ਕਰ ਲਿਓ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮਾਈਕ ਸੈੱਟ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਫਿਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰਦੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਗੱਲ ਤਾਂ ਉਹੀ ਆ it's the way you say it to people and it was not just Ansar who taught me how to say that can you imagine like being that age and playing with B21 playing dol as well and at that time dol ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ craze ਸੀਗਾ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਣੇ ਢੋਲੀ ਨੂੰ ਹਨਾ ਇੰਨਾ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ still today and you get that sort of like ਮੈਂ ਢੋਲੀ ਆ one of them ones and then they kind of like knocked me down a few things and said look that's fine but you've got to be respectable to everyone you got to know who to say tusi to and who to say tum to and who to say ji to who to say Panjabi to who to say Paji to है ना so ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰਾ ਇਦਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ drill ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਵਿੱਚ
drilled into you and while shouting at you saying you have to be polite to people Bhangra what's wrong with you
because it was a team of lads so imagine like you guys when you did football when you've been with a Bhangra team you know? So it was like piling into the van you know going to the show the show was like a secondary thing it was like chalo theek hai show ta ho hi jana to practice kiti hai that's fine but it was the journey there and back and there were some naughty people main kehna nahi hai there were some naughty people and they used to like cut people's socks main kehna nahi par jehda munda karda si ਉਹਨੂੰ pata so you know like when the lads used to get changed into Bhangra party and you leave your clothes in obviously the changing room there were some naughty people who used to go back and cut the socks so when you put your socks on it was like oh teri bad would go through it kind of thing so we had a lot of fun man sare hasa khed sari badhiya sigi
but that's the fun of being in a group I mean even for people that you know play sports and football teams and you go to play a game together that camaraderie of being in the van and Jobi Koshunda in the van ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ in the van and you know the sugar mela the arguments and lots of things happen right
every time I come off stage argument ਤਾਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀ ਤੂੰ ਇੱਥੇ ਲੈ ਵਧਾਤੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਘਟਾਤੀ ਤੂੰ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਕਤ ਵਜਾਇਆ ਤੂੰ ਸਿੱਧਾ ਤੋੜਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਵਜਾਇਆ ਤੂੰ ਪੁੱਠਾ ਕਤੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਵਜਾਇਆ everything
that's the one ਤੋੜਾ ਕਦੇ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਵਜਾਇਆ why did you do a roll and it'll mess everyone up the ball will be like where would you come in right and the dancers will be like and they'll always the Dudleys would always save that kind of role for the show we're thinking, why don't you do it at practice?
नहीं ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਤੇ ਕਰੀਦਾ ਨਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੋਰ ਹੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ
I think that it's the vibe, isn't it, of being a live show? You just get so pumped, and it was great days. I remember them days as well. You know, that was my whole school and college life was a Jugunu Bhangra group, and I learned so much. I went abroad with them as well. I did weddings. I saw all the Bhangra groups that you could think of. You know, it was absolutely a dream. And I'm always thankful to them as well, Jugunu Bhangra group as well. And like you are, you know, to the people that helped you. But was you singing as well at the time, or is that?
नहीं ऐसा नहीं सी सिर्फ ढोल ते सीगा and ढोल ते भी ऐसा सीगा भी उन्होंने टका के रखिया सीगा. But that's what you're going to do. But sometimes, you know, like just to beef things up. Wow, नहीं सातनिया नाचदा संसार खिंचता you know, things like इतनी आवाज आप बेच ला देनी सी थोड़ी. And I used to do maybe 1 or 2 boliyan sometimes. Roop Singh Samrai, all boliyan पाਉਂਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ. And just to give him a little breather, sometimes he used to hold the mic like this. ਉਹਨੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਨਹੀਂ mic ਫੜਨਾ, ਉਹਨੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਛਾਤੀ 'ਚ ਮਾਰਨਾ. He used to be bang like one of those. And so I used to be playing the ढोल and trying to get into the mic as well. And then I would sing maybe 1 or 2 boliyan. But नहीं यार इतना singing ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇतना ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗਾ ਬਈ ਮੈਂ singer ਬਣਨਾ. No.
Yeah.
At the same time, alongside Nacha Sansa, I was with Money Spinner, and we was recording in studios anyway. And we did that, I see, Ladies and Gentlemen album Puri Kiti. And in there, all the instruments we played ourselves. So it was me, Dav, Harpreet, Ding, and Swan. And Cloud9 lads as well, Amit, and Time Production. So I was in studio, on stage with Nacha Sansar. Just before that, I was playing with B21. So it's always been like, hori, chali janda sara kuch. Naal di naal.
Yeah. And when you did get a chance, Rupaji did shove the mic in your chest. Oh, it's my go now, right? Yeah. Did you enjoy that part? Did you think this is?
Yeah, man. I love every second of being on stage. I'm not afraid to admit it. I love the limelight when I'm on stage. Probably because we spend so much time like this, sitting at home, practicing sa, re, whatever it is. Gana koi bhi hai, we're practicing it. And when it comes to going on stage, I want to show people, look what I have practiced. Suno mera gana, hai. You get that passion kind of thing. Yeah. I love every second of it. Everything else.
There's definitely a fire in you. You know, he wants to show people, you know, how you've got that sort of entertainer vibe. You got a big smile, you know, you know.
But yeah, dude, I love it. I absolutely love it, especially when I see people's reactions, and you get that energy, don't you, from the crowd, and then you just kind of like bounce off of it, and you can play. When I used to play Dole, you know, I used to speed it up, and I used to really get people Laria style, Gidda style, and then drop a half beat toda in there. And that reaction, that was good. When we go on stage, just to see people's reaction, like I have a female with me. I had Ravneet Benji first, but I got Kirandeep Jol. She comes with me now, and the little nudges or push or jida galabaat jehdi hundi hai. People love it, man. So, je like karte log ki aisi.
Is that when you're singing? Is that like vocals you're talking about? Yeah.
When I have a female with me, because you know what, the songs, people kind of like not being rab to dar ke hai main gal kehna. People know the songs, yeah. So okay, me dasama kahani lada lati mare jani ere naal. People are singing it with me, but what they want to know is what he says in between, or what she says to him, or the look that she gives him, or the look that all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
and it only happens when you've got a team that can
work together. Yeah, because it's like a full performance, right? Even though you're singing, and but it's a performance piece of art that you're doing. And I saw that video with Stephen, Tabzi Baji, and the great Sundar Shinda, and you playing the Godje. I mean, that moment, looking at that video, I mean, it must be fantastic for all three of you there. I'm sure it's fantastic for Sundar Shinda as well, but you know, but I think for you three guys, you know, from the Midlands,
Yeah.
UK guys, you know, and you're just smashing it up. And even you could see some of the Shinda was just like, yeah, you know, I'm impressed with this, you know. And
Before that recording, है ना, पहला ना अंकल हुनी शिंदे अंकल वो वाजे ते classical गाਉਂਦੇ ਸੀ, and he goes to me, he goes ਚੱਲ ਬਈ ਤੂੰ ਅਲਗੋਜਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਸਾਹ ਫੜ ਕੇ ਦਿਖਾ.
right.
So he was singing classical, है ना, and I was there,
yeah,
like, and I was like holding the saw, and then I was trying to follow him in bits as well, innit? And then ਘੰਟਾ अंकल हुना ने मेरे तो घंटा अलगोजे बजाए लगातार. And after 1 hour, he goes, हाँ, and ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਬੋਲਣ ਦਾ ਆਂਦਾ, ਹਾਂ ਬਈ ਮੁੰਡਿਆ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਵਜਾਉਂਦਾ ਤੂੰ अलगोजे, and like he gave me shabash, and I felt good about that. Like,
of
you know,
course.
So,
well,
test कर दे मेरा क्या.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, why wouldn't you? I mean, a proper legend. You know, we say legend all the time these days, don't we? Or goat is the one, isn't it? We say goat all the time. But Surinder Shinda is without doubt one of the greatest of all time. You know, and
I've listened to Uncle Huni so much. You know, his Juna mode. Oh, Setha, hut bechiya, aja, langia, June siya, bolki. I'll listen. All of that tape, I probably knew every dialogue for dialogue.
Yeah, and it's got you know, it's gone down in history. That even that intro when he does speak, and you know, all them songs, it's classic. Yeah. It's a pure classic, right? And but when you was there playing with him at the time, it's harder because you're playing an instrument and you're trying to concentrate and play it correctly. But afterwards, you must have thought, damn, man, we just played with Surinder Shinda, just one of his greatest songs, you know. You must have felt great about that. I felt great for you.
I felt blessed that I'd been in that situation. My very first song that I did was Surma, and in there, I'm a huge Ustad Ji Kuldeep Manak fan. That's my idol Ustad Ji, hai na? And in my very first song, Ustad Ji was in the song with me, and he gave me a thappad blessing. And that for me was like the peak. I didn't want to do anything after that. I was like, that's it, I've done Ustad Ji Kuldeep Manak Sahab de naal. And same with Shinda Uncle Huni, na, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਕੇ to listen to them, you know, and he's just a chilled out dude. There's no like answer in Shinda. Not, it's like just having a laugh, and he appreciated the fact that I could play algoje.
Yeah. I can imagine, because there's not many people probably in the UK that can play algoje now, right?
There's a handful. I know in Handsworth is Ranbir Singh, and kya baat munda, tumbi, algoje, bugchu, bansuri, everything. But there is a handful. Munda ਜਿਹੜਾ ਢੋਲ ਵੀ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਲੈਸਟਰ ਤੋਂ DNA ਤੋਂ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ, ਚੇਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਹੁਣ, ਪਰ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ algoje ਵਜਾਉਂਦੇ.
Right.
ਇਹ dude ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਪਣੇ folk ਸਾਜ਼ ਆ ਨਾ, folk instruments. There's not a lot of people who can play.
There's not, no. And I think when I went on tour to Jordan with Jugnu and the Gubberals, I think it was Sokka Desi. Do you know the name?
Sokka.
Yeah, I think he
Mama Algojian wala bhi hai. Devraj Jassal.
Yeah.
Number one,
yeah. And a lyricist as well. I mean, what a talent. What a pure talent that is, you know.
The person himself, oh my God. Uncle Huni ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਾ Chicago ਗਏ ਸੀਗੇ. We went to Chicago to do the World Bhangra competition, and Uncle was playing algoje. All the way there, all the time we were there, and all the way back, we was in fits of laughter, gal to gal, joke to joke, something. He would just, and the guy was just such a beautiful person himself.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what I was thinking as I was talking to you now, and like I said to you, when I grew up, a lot of my friends were into football, really. We weren't really into music. It was kind of, I was into music. And when I joined Juggernal, I ended up going to Birmingham for weddings, and I met other dance groups. And then I met sort of people from the Midlands. And it's the first time I met people from the Midlands, right? And they were like very desi people. Very
yeah. Everything
open and very Panjabi, you know, very and I'd never met people like that from where I was from, Hannah, and I felt such at home because I was a desi Punjabi guy at home, in my own home, but not so much at heart, right? But not so much outside in school and stuff like this. So when I met these folks, right, and it was all, I remember going in the van to a show when we was in Jordan, and we would go to the venue, right? and all the group was together in his big coach, and his
Yeah.
bully on the way, people playing door. It was complete mayhem, right? And this is before the show, before the event. But like, we were tiring ourselves out. But
I'm only laughing because I can relate to it.
yeah, it was just songs that we're going to do there. It was singing all the latest hit songs. It was brilliant. I mean, I remember them days so dearly, right? And I can see that from you talking to you, and you know the jokes that you're coming out with, and the stories. I relate to that, and I think, yeah, I know what you mean, exactly what you mean. And so, you know, while you're talking about Lagodje, do you want to play a little bit? Why don't you play a little bit, and then people can. I'll shut up. Anything you, I'll leave it to you. Anything you like, and I'll shut up for a bit. And I just want to see people that your skill, because they might know you just as probably maybe the singer, Bhangra the singer. But I want, you know, and I want them to see you and hear you play this.
Malki ki masrama Malki.
Yeah, I used to sing that actually. That was one of the volume I used to do. I'm not going to sing it, by the way. Carry on.
No. Sor phad lo.
That's where I. That's where. No. Wow, fantastic. You can't finish doing that and say Tigia. That was amazing. I mean, absolutely wow. I mean, that, you know, when you said at the beginning there, you go sort of fun, you know, for people listening, what he means is getting key. That's where I used to mess up, Bhangra buddy, right? That's where it used to go wrong.
You know, that's the studio talk, na? When you go into studio, sort of once you've done the piece and you say, "ठीक है, set है, बात चल रही चलिए."
Yeah. So for people that, that's what you meant, you know, getting key. So, but that was amazing, and you made it look so easy, you know, because
easy.
Did you find it easy to pick? Because what you're doing is that continuous breathing, right? Yeah, and I mean that's difficult in itself, you know, and that's obviously the key to playing, right, for a long time. And I'm just laughing because Swinder Shinda made you play for an hour.
Pura and you can ask Tabzi Paji nu puch liyo, Steven nu puch liyo, right? Kenta unhone mein to wo bhi classical on a folk instrument.
Yeah.
Classical bajaya mein to.
Yeah.
And Kenta unhone pura mein to without stopping. Any single way unhone kaha bhai saal lela pani pila na. He kept on singing with the baja, and I had to keep the saw going and follow him as best I could, kind of thing, na?
Yeah.
But yeah.
What an experience though to have. You know, that's experience for life. You know, I mean, it must be at the time you must be looking at him, calling you by. I think, come on, let's get.
I think he looked at me a few times to say, "Chop,
Yeah. He seemed to enjoy himself. That's what I mean when in the video, right? And so, I mean, that was beautiful. It's such a fantastic instrument. It's the sound of Punjab, right? When you hear that instrument, everyone's like, you know, it's just a beautiful, beautiful sound, and you play it fantastically. So when you pick that up, you can play Dumbi as well, right? Let's just go through it. Let's go through your roster of instruments.
Dumbi bhi, haan ji. Ki sunna chahoge?
What's the one that everyone says is Bella Lalakare, right?
ठीक है, पहले लगा रहे ना। और भी श्रामा इसी सुरक्षा। ठीक है, यह भी हो गया ना। और श्रामा इसी सुर च so
wow, fantastic. Let me go get my tambourine. That's what I used to play, the tambourine. That is amazing. You know, it's I mean, again, you know, when you're playing, you're so relaxed, and it just seems it's natural to you. But it's probably hours and hours and hours of practice.
Yeah, dude. Years of practice. इतना नहीं हैगा भाई मैं कल I sort of अखाड़ा उस्ताद जी कुलदीप मानक है ना, and आज मैं उठ के सोचा भाई यार मैं भी तुंबी पे जावां. इतना नहीं हैगा. ਇਹ बहुत टाइम लगदा सुर ਨੂੰ फड़ना, सुर ਨੂੰ सुनना, सुर ਨੂੰ and पकड़ना है ना. It's really hard, dude. And then to use the techniques like circular breathing in Algoje to do that technique. I was very fortunate that Devraj uncle actually showed me how to do it. But yeah, dude, it's all practice, you know. But you know, like these instruments on bansuriya, कोई सोचदा नहीं भी ਅਸੀਂ बांसुरी बजाइए है ना, but it's such a beautiful instrument. ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵਜਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ you take your audience on a journey, you know? When you're playing yourself, you might be thinking of something, but your audience they might go to a different place in their mind, and
yeah, it is beautiful, you know. And do you want to play the flute a little bit on why not? You know what, I'm not really bothered if anyone listens to this. I'm just enjoying this myself.
What would you like to listen to?
Anything. Honestly, anything. I don't know a particular song that we could play on a flute. Yeah.
Sir, classical.
Yeah, do some class. Yeah.
ਰਾਗ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਨ ਨਾ, ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਰਾਗਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਟਿਊਨ ਨਿਕਲਦੀ ਹੈ. ਸੋ ਇਹ ਹੌਲੀ ਹੌਲੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਿਲਡ ਅਪ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ.
That's amazing. Can you do Rick Astley?
ਮੈਂ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਗਾਣੇ ਅੱਜ ਮੇਰਾ ਹੱਥ ਤੰਗ ਗਿਆ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ.
I mean, it's amazing, you know. And I when I listen to you and look at you and talk to you now, it's a slight envy there, and I think, wow, look at the instruments he can play. Because I always enjoy watching people that can play instruments. I think it's such a beautiful thing, you know.
ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਇਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਮੁੰਡਿਆਂ ਤੇ ਭਾਰ ਪਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ. ਐਨਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ. I only know maybe this much. ਉਹ ਵੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ. There's people in the world who know so much about music. ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੱਡੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਉਸਤਾਦ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸੁਣੋ. ਪੰਡਿਤ ਹਰੀ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਚਰਾਸੀਆ ਜੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬਾਂਸਰੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਵਜਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ, ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਸੁਣਦੀ ਹੈ. ਬਿਸਮਿਲ੍ਲਾ ਖਾਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਸ਼ਨਾਈ ਜਦੋਂ ਵਜਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ, ਕੀ ਬਾਤ ਆ. You know, and then the folk side of things. ਚਮਕੀਲਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ, ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਉਹ ਬੰਦਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਐ ਖੜੇ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ ਨਾ. ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹ ਧਾਰਮਿਕ ਗਾਉਂਦੇ ਸੀ ਬੰਦੇ ਰੋਣ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਸੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ. ਉਸਤਾਦ ਜੀ ਕੁਲਦੀਪ ਮਾਨਕ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਸੁਰ ਇੰਨੀ ਉੱਚੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਰੁਪਈਆ ਪੰਜਾਬ 'ਚ ਟਣਕਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ, ਏਦਾਂ ਉਹਦੀ ਗਲੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਟਣਕਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ. ਉਹ ਇੰਨੀ ਉੱਚੀ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਫਿਰ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਹਰਕਤਾਂ ਏਦਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ, ਕਿਆ ਹੀ ਬਾਤਾਂ ਹੈ ਨਾ. ਮੁਹੰਮਦ ਸਦੀਕ ਸਾਹਿਬ, ਯਮਲਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ, ਤੁੰਬੀ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਤੁੰਬੀ ਨੂੰ ਕਰਨੀ ਸੈੱਟ ਤਾਰ 'ਚ ਤੇ ਆਪ ਗਾਉਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੁੰਬੀ ਨੂੰ ਗ੍ਰਾਮ 'ਚ ਤੇ ਆਪ ਗਾਉਣਾ ਤਾਰ 'ਚ ਹੈ ਨਾ. So that's the genius part.
Yeah, genius.
ਤਾਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਰੀਦਾ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਸਿਰਫ just ਸਾਡਾ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ we practice this and we show people.
Yeah.
They knew the instruments, they knew the art, they knew the words, the boli, you know, where to say something. ਹੁਣ ਆਪਾਂ ਉਹੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਹਿ ਦਈਏ, ਡੋਰ ਬੰਦ ਕਰ ਦੇ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਡੋਰ ਬੰਦ ਕਰ ਦੇ. ਇੱਕ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਉਹ ਡੋਰ ਬੰਦ ਕਰ ਦੇ, ਗੱਲ ਉਹੀ ਆ, but the ਅੰਦਾਜ਼ of saying it, ਹੈ ਨਾ. Ustad ji Kuldeep Manik, when I met him for the very first, when we did the video shoot, sorry, and the last thing I said to him, I went in and मैं पैरी हाथ लाया, मैं कहा उस्ताद जी गलती हो गई ते गुस्ताखी माफ कर दो, है ना, मैं थोड़ा छोटा बच्चा. And his exact words were, ये होगी मैंने पता नहीं, ये पता लग गया करता माफ. And you know, that style, that way of thinking, I don't know how, they're different people, man.
Yeah.
Rubber again.
So when you met Kuldeep Manik, you know, he seemed he's a very special character, obviously, you know. I mean, but he obviously he's arguably the greatest, you know,
folk singer
folk
ever.
singer, you know, and but I know I've heard stories about his personality, and I remember watching VHS tapes of when he's on
Okay.
stage in India when he slaps that guy, then I think he comes in the wrong time or something or other. Classic.
ਪਤਾ ਕੀ ਨਾ ਨਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਸਕੂਲ ਸੀਗਾ ਸਾਡੀ ਕਲਾਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਕੁੜੀ ਸੀਗੀ because we didn't have YouTube dude like 20 years ago we didn't have YouTube or anything no not 20 15 ਸਾਲ 12-15 ਸਾਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਕਿਹੜਾ YouTube ਸੀਗਾ
no
so there was this girl in my class ਮੈਂ ਨਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈਣਾ ਉਹਦਾ ਹੁਣ ਵਿਆਹ ਵੀ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਹੋਣਾ but her dad was a very close friend of Ustad Ji Kuldeep Manak and she had a VHS video you know the videos the video
yeah.
And मैं ਉਹਨੂੰ ਮਿਹਨਤਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਤੂੰ ਪਲੀਜ਼ can I borrow it ਉਹ ਵਿਚਾਰੀ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰੋਂ ਚੋਰੀ ਲਿਆਈ because in them when we was at school ਯਾਰ ਸਾਡੇ ਆਸ-ਪਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗਾ ਵੀ ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਓਪਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲੀਏ ਜਾਂ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗਾ it was a very sort of like girls you know ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੀ ਪੰਜਾਬੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਘਰ ਉਹ anyway ਉਹ ਟੇਪ ਲਿਆਈ ਮੈਂ ਰਾਤ ਨੂੰ 2 ਵੀਡੀਓ ਜੋੜ ਕੇ ਨਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਾਪੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਾਪੀ ਕਰਕੇ ਦੂਜੇ ਦਿਨ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਮੋੜ ਕੇ ਦਿੱਤੀ and I must have watched that video so many times Ustad Ji sang Tere Tille to Nak Da Koka Ma Hundi Hai Ma dude he was on and I loved it but those days and today we can just open up YouTube and I think it's fantastic because like Ustad Ji nu 10 saal to upar ho gaye kinne saal ho gaye mere 2011 Ustad Ji pass hoye si na so agle saal ho jane and we can still put his akhada on and watch him or put his interview on and listen to him so yeah man but his character
yeah he's had I had a chance to he did a show in Gravesend and I took my friend along with me because I wanted to meet Kuldeep Manak because I'm a Panjabi you know Panjabi fan right of folk songs and I took my friend along and I knew the promoter doing the show. So I knew I could get a chance to meet him, but you never know these things, right? And so Kuldeep Manak had done a song. So he's come off stage to have a little break and there was another, I think one of the backing band members was singing a song like they've taken a break, right? And so he's standing there and I'm in a queue waiting to get a picture taken with him. All I wanted was a picture. Even if he didn't talk to me, I didn't mind, right? And but my friend, on Shira Bobby Diosi. Right? And he was like, I'm sober, right? Because I want to meet him. I don't want anything to ruin my experience of seeing Kuldeep Manak, right? Anyway, we're in the queue, and I said to my mate, "Look, stand still. You're gonna get, you know." And Kuldeep Manak saw us, and I don't know what he said to the promoter. Basically, they kicked us out.
What did they?
Because he could see that he was too drunk, right? And he thought, I can't be dealing with. Because he must have been dealing with all these kind of people all his life, you know, wanting to meet him and that. So I was that close to meeting him. To this day.
मैं उस्ताद जी ਨੂੰ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਮਿਲਿਆ and ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਮਿਲਿਆ I always took something away. The very first time I met him I was starstruck and I went to his house. ਅਸੀਂ ਲੁਧਿਆਣੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਘਰ ਲੁਧਿਆਣੇ ਹੈ ਇੰਡੀਆ 'ਚ ਤੇ ਉਸਤਾਦ ਜੀ ਵੀ ਲੁਧਿਆਣੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਘਰ ਹੈ ਨਾ. So I went to his house and sat down. And he came down. He had white kurta pajama on. He had a kenchi chappal on. And he came and he had this chair in his front room. And he came and sat on there like this, and he's looking at me. I'm looking at him. And when you're starstruck, you don't know what to say. I mean, I'm pretty fluent with my Panjabi, but at that time, I don't know what happened in my brain. And I was like, "Ustad ji, main tonu dekhan aaya." And he looked at me and he goes, "Ki dekhna aaya hoy? Main sarcastic khada. Mere pooch lagi hai. Mere sang lage. Ki dekhna aaya? Main das." And I was like, he goes, "Pota idda nahi kaida hunda. Idda hunda. Main tenu milna aaya." And he gave me a big hug. And then he sat me next to him and he goes, "Kitthon aaya?" I was, "Main England to aaya." He goes, "Acha. And then we got talking and stuff like that. And then I went to, this was a few years later, when I went to record the video for Surma. I went to his house and he goes, "Haan bhai, aaja, baija." He goes, "Aaja." I goes, "Ustad ji, bhi main gaana record kita hai na, main tonu sunauna siga." He goes, "Acha, chal phir suna." So although iPhone mein nama liya siga, I started looking for the song to show him. And he goes, "Aida nahi khada hoke ga." So I stood up and I was nervous, man.
Cool.
And I sang the song in it, and he gave me a hug. He goes, "Putta darya na kar. Darya na kar, koi nahi hunda." यो तू खुल के गा कुछ नहीं तेरी पंजाबी सही है यो दाढ़ी भी तेरी मेरे वर्गी है यो तेन कुछ नहीं होना तेन
Yeah. Brilliant. Brilliant memories, right? And I could just imagine him talking like that because he had a personality, let's put it that way, right? So he knew, you know, he yeah.
ਉਸਤਾਦ ਜੀ ਬਠਿੰਡੇ ਦੇ ਸੀ ਐਂਡ ਬਠਿੰਡੇ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਬੋਲੀ ਆ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਕੀ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਮਿੱਠੀ ਆ
yeah. But you know, when he went on stage, it was beautiful, right? I used to really enjoy his slow songs, his sadder songs, because you could hear his voice was amazing, right? Because sometimes you get people used to think, you know, he's thinking he's singing his folk songs, Uchi Sorte, but that he had way more range than that. You know, he had some amazing songs.
He was trained classically. He used to sing in rags. If you listen to his songs, they're all based around rags. Pilu rag ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਸਤਾਦ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਗਾਇਆ ਹਨਾ ਭੈਰਵੀ ਤਾਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਨਾ but it's always the foundation was always the rag and if somebody was playing for example if he's singing in I don't know Yemen and somebody plays a different rag hana he would pick it up straight away and say oi ਚੱਜ ਨਾ ਵਜਾ hana and because he knew ਕਰਕੇ ਯਾਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਕੋਈ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਬਾਜੇ ਤੇ ਪ੍ਰੈਕਟਿਸ ਕਰਦਾ and not for just hours but days weeks months ਉਹ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਯਾਰ ਆ ਰਾਗ ਆ ਤੂੰ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹਿ ਕਾਹਤੇ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਨਿਕਲਦਾ ਤੂੰ ਹੈਨਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਰਾਗ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹਿ ਕੇ ਉਹਦੀ ਨਿਯਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹਿ ਕੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਖੇਲੀ ਚਲੋ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਮਰਜੀ ਪਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਨਿਯਮ ਚੋਂ ਨਿਕਲਦਾ then you feel like ਯਾਰ ਮੈਂ ਕਦੇ ਪ੍ਰੈਕਟਿਸ ਕਰਦਾ ਰਹਿ ਗਿਆ ਫਿਰ ਹੈਨਾ so that's
yeah He was amazing, and these kind of people come once in a lifetime, really. And I remember seeing a show where every song he's going to the keyboard player, he plays the pieces for him, and then he sings the song, goes to the next song. He just pure genius, right? And I mean,
both tasali na badhaiya because music was them and they were music.
Yeah,
nothing else. No. They've done it so much that they've become one.
Yeah.
And to get to that stage, you know, we think, oh, I'll release one song with a video, with all the trailers, I'll put it on all my socials, blah, 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 blah. And we think, yeah, man, I'm a super hit. Dude, it's not that, man. No. Once you get to that level where you know your music inside out, you could be singing in Alto Arena or you could be singing in somebody's back garden, but the sur will be the same.
Yeah.
You will not get any shift in the sur. But yeah, dude, that's music, but also the understanding of the boli.
Yeah.
है ना और अपन बोली पता ते ਉਹ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਹੁਣ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਾਂ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਦੱਸਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਾਣੀ ਲੜ ਲਾਤੀ ਮਰ ਜਾਣੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਮਰ ਜਾਣੀ ਤੇ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਵਜ਼ਨ ਪਾਇਆ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਬਈ you can say ਹੈ ਨਾ but if I say ਉਹ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਦੱਸਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਾਣੀ ਲੜ ਮਾਤੀ ਉਹ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣੀ
Yeah.
It's not just a small thing, it's a big thing. And I think today people have made music or have kind of taken music very cheaply. ਬਈ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ 10,000 ਪੌਂਡ ਦਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਗਾਣਾ ਕੱਢਿਆ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਡਾਊਨਲੋਡ ਕਰ ਲੈਣਾ ਆਪਾਂ they listen to 30 seconds ਨਹੀਂ ਯਾਰ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਈ
yeah
and sometimes it kind of hurts.
Yeah, of course, because music's become kind of throwaway now, right? So I remember back in the day when Hida used to have an album come out, you go to the Mithai shop, right? And Uncle Teppa Kediya Namiya, and he'll get them out, and you go, oh my God, Hida album, or whatever it was, right? Apnasagi, and you go home and you read the inlay, you see the song in the music by Deepak.
Photo देख के ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ photo ਦੇਖ ਕੇ ਵੀ ਇਹਨੇ ਪੱਗ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਬੰਨੀ ਆ ਯਾਰ ਇਹ ਇਦਾਂ ਬੰਨੀ ਆ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ photo ਹੀ ਦੇਖੀ ਜਾਣੀ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੈਂ ਇਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਕੁੜਤਾ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ ਦੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਰੰਗ ਦਾ you know and stuff like that ਉਹ ਹੀ ਕਰੀ ਜਾਣਾ ਸੀ
you know what I remember buying Raunak Mela by Apna Sangeet, right? And I didn't know in them days I didn't know who Sadara Gill was. I didn't know which one it was because I'd never seen them live, and I thought it was Gurjan Mal. And then, right, just by looking at their faces, I thought, all right, he looks like maybe he's got this voice and he's got a long, you know, I don't know, right? And I saw him at a wedding once, and then because I used to love Sadara Gill, and I was kind of my hero as I was growing up, right? And then when I saw him, and I thought, wow, this is the band. But it's very
ਅੰਕਲ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਹੈ ਯਾਰ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਢੋਲ ਤੇ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਗਿਆ ਹੁਣ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਵੀ ਲਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਹਨਾ ਇਟਸ ਸੱਚ ਅ ਨਾਈਸ ਗਾਈ ਮੈਨ ਇਵਨ ਇਸ ਸਨ ਗਰਜੀਤ whole family they're lovely.
Yeah, everyone I've spoken to when I talk about Siddhartha, because I bring him up all the time because he's my hero, right? And they always say the same thing: nice guy, top guy, you know, very nice guy. And I'm going to try and get him on here just purely for my own pleasure.
मैं अंकल ਨੂੰ ਆਪ ਫੋਨ ਕਰੂੰਗਾ ਮੈਂ ਕਹੂੰਗਾ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਤੇ ਜਾਓ ਵਧੀਆ ਇੰਟਰਵਿਊ ਹੈ ਨਾ
Yeah, I did ask him for my previous show. I had an old show up here, British Asian Pod. He goes, I'll do it, right? But that was years ago now. So if you could, that'd be fantastic.
मैं कर दूंगा फोन कोई गल नहीं
Get him on, get to that on, right? And but what I mean is, we used to buy the cassette. We used to love the cassettes and even the CDs, right? We'd be artsy, you know, we're getting it, and we looked after them. And but with this online thing, you download it, and like you said, just if you don't like it, next.
Disposable ਹੋ ਗਿਆ disposable ਹੋ ਗਿਆ music ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਡਾ ਜ਼ੋਰ ਲੱਗਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਥੋੜੀ ਜੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਵੀ ਗਲਤੀ ਆ ਅਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵੇ ਚਲੋ ਗਾਣੇ ਤੋਂ ਗਾਣਾ ਸਿੱਟੀ ਜਾਈ ਗਾਣੇ ਤੋਂ ਗਾਣਾ ਪ੍ਰੈਕਟਿਸ ਵੀ ਘੱਟ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਹੈ you know and if I go into a studio and record ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਵੀ ਤਬਲਾ ਕਿਹਨੇ ਵਜਾਇਆ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਉੱਤੇ ਤੁੰਬੀ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਪੀਸ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਗਾਣੇ ਚੋਂ ਚੱਕ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾਤੀ ਪਰ ਤੁੰਬੀ ਤਾਂ ਵੈਸੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਬਟ ਹੋਰ ਕੋਈ ਪੀਸ
I know what you mean yeah
and ਸਾਡੀ ਵੀ ਗਲਤੀ ਆ but dude, what else can we do? Let's be honest, right? We're trying to make music. We're trying our best. It's like when you go to work, or whomever goes to work, they do their 9 to 5. ठीक है? उन्होंने पता भी साढ़े इन्ने घंटे हो गए, सानू इन्ने पैसे मिल जाने हैं. We do our practice. Let's say our practice for 4 hours. सानू ये नहीं पता हुंदा भी हाँ ये 4 hours साढ़े काम होने या नहीं होने. है ना? ये नहीं हुंदा. It's not guaranteed that yeah those 4 hours you've done good practice or you've done bad practice. No.
Yeah, there's no guarantee.
People listen to it and they say, "Bhai, tu patandrar ka gana kaad," and you're like, "Dude, oh ho gaya. Hun aa suno." है ना? Ade dharmik geet as well. Vasakhi te siga gana, है ना? And I really loved it. Mainu shauक है ढाडी कथा सुनन दा, you know, to listen to ragis and stuff like that. Mainu bahut zyada shauक है. I love that sort of style of music. And I did that and भाई बढ़िया पर तुसी पतंदरार का गाना यार मैं इतना नहीं हैगा even writers when they come to you and they give you lyrics कई बार वो पुट्ठी सीधी lyric हो जाती है ना and you think यार I'm not that type of a singer that's not me you might see that in the video or I may look in that type of way but that's not me I'm just like this is what I want to do but then people have got this image and they want you to keep on doing the कुड़ी नु share तू ऐदा कर तू ऐ कर तू वो कर and then we kind of like have to give into it and do it. But really and truly, I would rather not, if that makes sense.
No, it does. And I think that happens to artists from all genres as well. If you get actors as well, they get in a certain role and they keep getting the same roles and they want variety. They want to try something different and they end up becoming the you know, the dad role, always the dad, always the mother, always the mum, or always the sport child. And, you know, they want to do variety as well. And I think it's how people perceive them to be. They like the songs you're getting is what you've been successful for before. And I think, well, we're giving this song, it'll be another success. But the problem with that, like you said, you get bored, don't you? Because you're an artist. You want to stretch yourself.
At the same time, like, I'll tell you the situation. I went to a radio station, a well-known radio station, and ਉੱਥੇ ਮੈਂ interview ਕਰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ, and the song came on, and the director or producer came in, and they goes to me, Bhangra, can you do something funny? मैं यार मैं comedian है, मैं ਕੀ ਹੁਣ funny ਕਰਾਂ, है ना? ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਦਿਮਾਗ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਆ ਵੀ comedian type person, you know, this, that, the other. Maybe because I speak Panjabi, they just want to hear the fun side of things, which is great. I love it. And I do enjoy making people laugh and stuff like that. But sometimes, yaar, serious gall bhi hundi Vasakhi. Yaar, apne liye kinni badi gall hai.
Yeah.
Koi bhi cheez apne guruan da sangrand aa gayi. Kise nu eh nahi pata hunda vi sangrand kehde din hai. Ardas kidda karni hai. Eh nahi pata hunda. And people don't want to see that. And if I'm like, Paji, main ardas karte hain. नहीं यार तू पीछे ਇੱਥੇ ਖੜਾ ਹੋ ਆਪਾਂ ਗਿਆਨੀ ਨੂੰ ਕਵਾਂਗੇ ਯਾਰ ਆਪ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਆਪ ਵੀ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਨੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਸ਼ੱਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਨਾ yeah this is what I would like to do. I would like to do kirtan in gurdware but then you got the whole like oh ਤੇਰੀ ਦਾੜੀ ਕੱਟੀ ਹੈ ਤੂੰ ਪੱਗ ਇਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਬੰਨਦਾ ਤੂੰ ਆ ਇਦਾਂ ਤੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਕੰਜਰਾ ਲਗਾਣੇ ਗਾਉਂਦੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ one of those sort of things
Yeah, but in the past, I know Tubbsy told me about this, that the bands in the 70s, I think, 70s and even the 80s, 60s, definitely 60s, 70s and 80s, the bands used to actually go to the Gurdwara, didn't they? They used to do the sort
I would love to do Sera Sakya,
yeah,
right?
that's
I
it,
would
yeah.
love to do Lama. In fact, if there's anybody watching, if you want to book me, I'll do that, man. Because I would love to go ਇੱਕ ਤਾਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੀ ਹਜ਼ੂਰੀ 'ਚ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਗਾਣਾ
Yeah.
ਹੈ ਨਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਗਾਉਣਾ ਇੱਕ ਉੱਥੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਗਾਉਣਾ ਆ it is actual singing. It's not just like chaklo raklo. You have to stay within the rags and you have to stay within the tals and you could play tal de naal you could bounce off the tabla play and stuff. I would love to do that, but people just want to see me out to kudi the chundi bad. Bas idna ਠੀਕ ਆ that's also ਇਹ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਰੰਗ ਆ ਪਰ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਰੰਗ ਆ ਯਾਰ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਦੇਖੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ
He mentioned that that really helped a lot of budding musicians at the time because they got a chance, they had a stage to play, and that's kind of gone now. So that's why there's not that many people learning instruments because they don't really have a stage in which to aim for, to get, so that'd be fantastic if that sort of came back to have you doing that at a wedding. I would actually stay for that part of the wedding.
I would absolutely love to do, go to the Gurdwara, Taval Chi Bajje de naal, and vadiya lama char lama pad do, chalo ji palle tande var do, chalo ji sera sikya kar do, vyah hua mere babla, chalo ji vyah karta, and then go to the wedding, and then show the other rang. Wait, theek hai, that was वो भी अपना रंग है पर आ रंग भी अपना ही है ना and then show that side of it but dude I don't know what कई बार सब confused हो जाते हैं
some there's
करना वाले तू गैंगस्टर वाले गाने का ऐसा बढ़िया होगा यार मैं गैंगस्टर है नहीं I live in Handsworth dude and trust me I don't want to be no way near a gangster trust me मेरे साडा ये नहीं है मेरे तीन शौक आ एक हैगा म्यूजिक 100% दूसरा हैगा मेरी गुरबानी है ना I like katha and I like listening to it. तीजा मैं six pack बनाऊँगा.
Are you do training? Are you?
Training कर रहे हैं यार six pack बनाऊँगा.
We'll talk about that because I like my training as well, right? And but do you sometimes feel trapped within your own success to a point? Because
yes, to be honest, I don't look at it like that. I don't look at it as being trapped, or I certainly don't look at it as success. I look at it as a blessing from Waheguru Ji, because people have liked it, and I thank God every day for that. Because there's people out there who are releasing songs, and sometimes it doesn't get recognized.
Yeah.
So just for me to have a little bit of recognition, मैं सच्ची उस महाराज दा लाख लाख शुक्र करना है ना क्योंकि यार इन्नी बड़ी दात बख्शी है मैंने रब ने. And if I get big headed in that and say yeah man this is my success, मेरी success नहीं हैगी.
Yeah.
वो दी मर्जी है, it's one of those sort of things.
Yeah.
And about being trapped, dude, if I was trapped with music, मैं तो कहना मैं स्वर्ग च आ गया. I'd love to be trapped with music.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd absolutely love it. That's ਹੋਰ ਕੀ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸੁਰ ਤਾਲ loves. It's a form of expressing yourself, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I remember when you came onto the scene, this was like a ZTV Brit Asia days, and bang, I was thinking, who's this guy? He's come out of nowhere, and obviously your song was it was on repeat, wasn't it? The video was on, and I remember that time when you suddenly came because there's no build up to you because we didn't kind of have that, especially down south. I was down south then, and the only kind of press we had was like the Eastern Eye and maybe this, and there weren't no websites or anything like that.
To be honest, I didn't want to do it. I got approached by a record label, Real Tone Records. I was in the studio at the time, messing around, and I was doing the vocals to send to India, to send to a singer in India, and they were going to sing it properly and send it back. And I was just messing around, and they approached me. They said, "Bhangra, do you want to do a song?" I'm like, "No, I don't want to do it." And then they said, "Look, come on, man, blah, blah." Anyway, push came to shove. They got me to sign a contract for 2 songs. I did the first one, and Ustad Ji Kuldeep Manak came in that. I was not interested in the second one at all. I was like, dude, finish it, man, done now. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੰਟਰੈਕਟ ਕੱਢ ਕੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ look you've signed this ਕਰ ਹੁਣ ਚੱਲ ਗਾ. I went into the studio. Even in the studio you can ask Sukhi Chand Paji if you ever get a chance. Paji ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਾਜੇ ਤੇ ਸਮਝਾਇਆ ਏਦਾਂ ਗਾਉਣਾ. I sang the song. I went out to the ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦਿਮਾਗ 'ਚ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਮੈਂ ਗਾਇਆ. It was just to get rid of that contract. Then they sent me to India to do the video. And even in the video, I was more interested in playing cricket with the Bhangra team than actually doing my scenes. So we did the video, and then they got a PR company involved. Unhone release karta, uto baad it's just, like I said, man, there's no planning. I truly do believe it's somebody up there who's
guiding you along. Yeah. And so when the song did come out and it became a hit, basically, how did you feel? Because this is a song, like you said, you've done the song with Galeet Marnik, which I would have been a bit like that. I've done a song with Galeet Marnik. I don't really care now.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm putting my feet up, right? But how did you feel when the song became a success? Was you a bit like, wow, or?
Nah, dude, it was funny. People used to take pictures with me in it. And I'm sorry if I did this to you. I'm really sorry. I'm not like that. But I used to feel like, tumne photo khichni hai? Aaja khichla. And I used to stand there like this, like make funny photos, because it was surreal. And then we did Shikari after that, and then we started getting bookings, PA bookings, not live. So I was like, dude, I've only got 3 songs. What do I do? They go sing Marnik, sing Chumkila, sing Hana. So I set bana liya. And I got a beat made, and I would sing on top of that beat and stuff like that, and play instruments in between as well.
Yeah.
And people started booking me, and I was like, are you sure they want to book me? Like, it still is. It's still surreal. I did a show with the Legends band. Had Jagiri Halpaji, master of percussion. Had Boota B21 keyboard te Harry Mitharu. Yeah. Happy drum kit the, Pogal on tour, Pogal Sahab, and I was like, are you sure? Are you guys sure you want to play with me? They were, yeah, come. I did the show, dude, loved it, man, and it's all just surreal. I don't think, like I say, man, I believe in Waheguru, so I'm just kind of like saying thanks, man.
Yeah.
Because gifted in that. Say if I give you a gift now, I give you this tumbi, and I said, this is your gift, and you put it on the wall. And it's just gathering dust. And I come to your studio and I see it there. And I say, yaar, kidna tumbi bijai? And you pick it up and you're like, nah, I haven't had time. I haven't. Mainu dukh lagna na. Maine kehna, yaar, mainu inni vadiya tumbi ditti hai, bijai nahi. But Rabb ne apan nu life ditti hai. Right? Jado aapa Rabb ko jana, Rabb kahoga main tenu life ditti, ki karke aaya? Main ta kehna, bhai, Rabba jehdi tu mainu life ditti hai na, full enjoy karke aaya. And anand maan ke aaya. I enjoyed it. I used that life to the fullest. Yeah. And that's what I want to be able to do. That's my aim anyway. Sorry if I'm waffling on, dude.
No, not at all. I absolutely I agree with you 100%. I mean, if you're playing with the Legends band, with the people you mentioned, who are the top musicians probably in the country, right, for what they do, of course, man, that's amazing. You talk about people like Bukta, who's, did Bomb the Tumbi at 17 years old. I mean, come on, if that's not a genius, I mean, where's that 17, and I understand what you mean exactly. And sometimes I think you're pinching yourself thinking.
All the time, man.
Wow.
Every time I go on stage, I'm thinking, dude, do they really want to see me? मैं 5 foot 4 inch da banda, मेरे विच कुछ नहीं हैगा, there's nothing in me. But then people, when they give the pyar and the love and that's what are people, bande kehdi cheez de bhukhe, pyar de bhukhe hai, and when they give you pyar, then you think, yeah, man, I'll do some more.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah. I mean, when I asked Stephen, I said, "Oh, do you think Bhangra will come on?" He goes, "Oh, yeah." I go, "All right." I was surprised. I was happy because I'm thinking I think maybe you might not come on. I've not met you before, so.
Sometimes I go to, and this is probably the 3rd or 4th time that somebody said that to me, and people say, "Oh, we thought you had akkad." Kari akkad prava. There's no akkad. It's music, yeah. Jinna inu apa lokan nu sunauna, unna eh badana. And it's going to get stronger. Huh?
Yeah. So it wasn't like I thought he's going to have akkad or anything like that. And because I've interviewed loads of people, right? And they've all, some of them have got akkad, right?
I didn't say that, no.
Right. And so it wasn't that. I was just thinking, because sometimes I don't see your many interviews. I don't know. Do you enjoy the interview process much, or is that? I mean, you had a bad experience in a radio station with a producer telling you to be funny, which was ridiculous.
No, that wasn't bad. That was just an experience. I do enjoy, dude. I love it because most of the time, as a musician stroke singer, all I'm doing is just practicing. And when I see people, it's either at shows, at the gym, or when I'm at a lesson. And those are the only three places I actually see people. Other than that, it's just me on my own or God, whatever, whatever. So when I meet people, I've got so much to tell them that, yaar, aa bhi dekho, aa bhi suno, aa dekho main idda kar sakda, aa dekho main aa kar sakda. I love it, but I don't know, yeah. ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੂੰ ਗੈਂਗਸਟਰ ਗਾਣੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਗਾਉਂਦਾ ਤੇਰੀ ਮੁੱਛ ਇਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਹੈ ਤੇਰੀ ਦਾੜੀ ਇਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਹੈ ਤੇਰਾ ਆਹ ਹੈ ਤੂੰ ਪੱਗ ਇਦਾਂ ਰੰਗ ਦੀ ਬੰਨਦਾ ਤੂੰ ਇਹ ਇਦਾਂ ਦੇ
Yeah,
and I'm not going to change that for anybody.
Yeah, they kind of want to mold you into what they want, you know. Yeah. And I think you stick to you do you.
नहीं यार ਆਪਾਂ ਬਸ ਇਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਦੇਸੀ ਆ ਹਾਂ ਘਰੇ ਆ ਜਾਓ ਖਾਓ ਪੀਓ and full enjoy ਕਰੋ, that's not a problem. ਹਾਂ ਪਰ ਇੱਕ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੈ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਦਾ ਦਿਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿਖਾਉਣਾ ਯਾਰ.
Yeah.
I don't like doing that. ਜਦੋਂ ਨਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਵੀ I've said something and maybe I'm saying it as a joke and somebody's taking it personally, ਫਿਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਯਾਰ ਇਹ ਗਲਤ ਹੈ ਮੇਰੇ ਲਈ ਗਲਤ.
Don't worry about that. I say loads of stuff, right? And I think I've upset loads of people. But I'll hold you to that. I'll be in the Midlands one day. I'll come and knock on your door.
ਜਦੋਂ ਮਰਜੀ open invitation. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਮਰਜੀ ਆ ਸਕਦੇ. No problem.
Yeah. You know what? I've literally invited myself around to everyone's house that's been on the show. So since when COVID ends, there's a lot of people expecting me to come round. I've got True School, Surinder and Bhangra, Stephen.
ਸਾਰੇ ਜਣੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਆ ਜਾਓ.
We'll have a big session, right? That'd be a great evening, wouldn't it? Can you imagine that? Yeah, that'd be a proper folk evening, though. Yeah, True School Sook's a great guy, right? And he's pure folk, right? And that'd be a combination. I might sort that out. I might set that up. But let Bhangra, before I don't want to let you go yet. I want to talk about training. You just said to me you're into training, right? So I love training. It's one of the things that I love the most, right? It's kind of the foundation of my life is fitness,
okay.
Right? And because in the past, I don't know if you know, I used to enjoy going out. Let's put it that way, right? And I did everything, you know, everything you can imagine, right? And I had to stop because I would have got ill basically, and so I stopped. And training's really helped me. So for yourself, I want to know about your training, and does it help your singing and your life in that way?
It helped my breathing a lot. Obviously, if you're fitter, you can breathe a lot more. I do quite a lot of swimming, and I do a lot of cardio as well. Not so much weights. The weights that I do are very, very light weights, but I do high reps kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I love the cross trainer. I can go probably an hour and 15, hour and a half on a cross trainer.
Yeah.
At like 5, 6, 7 on the pace thing.
Yeah.
Running, not so keen, but I can still do half an hour, 45 minutes on there at maybe like 8, 9 speed. And then having the incline and decline a little bit.
Yeah.
Swimming, I like swimming.
You like swimming, and yeah. So you're into cardio work, right? So keep yourself trim and toned, and. Right. I'm sure I've seen a picture of you when you're a bit bigger, right? And you trimmed down, haven't you? Yeah.
मेरा भार बहुत ज़्यादा हो गया सीगा है ना. And then I thought, and then I started coughing. मेरे छाती ते ना खंघ जी होने लग पई. And when I was singing, I would have to, and it wasn't me clearing my throat. It was just because shati para, there was too much weight on me, basically. So I had to trim down, dude. And plus, I had some video shoots coming up as well, and I had to trim down for them.
Yeah, always a good motivator, a video shoot.
I had to do. ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ record label ਉਹ ਫਿਰ ਪਿੱਛੋਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਯਾਰ, you're not looking great. You blah 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 blah. This is the side that people don't see. So I had to trim down for that. And I love it because I won't mention the name of the gym, but I go to a gym, and there's some guys who come there. And in fact, about a week ago, I was with them, and they pick heavy weights, but sometimes they need a third person to do the bar
spotter, isn't it? Yeah.
And they would say, okay, you do the light weights, but just help us when we're doing the heavy. And I goes to one of them, I goes, मैं 6-pack बनाना यार. And he looked at me, he goes, भाई बना लो, तो सजना तो है नहीं. I thought, you what? He goes, नहीं गुस्सा ना करियो. He goes, जेरे singer होंदे वो आइडिया के ही होंदे हैं बस.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, don't get a 6-pack. Great advice at that, Jim. Glad you didn't mention it. No, but you are looking trim, and I think keep it up. Yeah, don't stop. If you've got any ever got any video shoots coming up, don't stop. And
No.
where did you put your weight on from? Was it on the road, weddings and eating?
Weddings, and plus just being lazy, dude. That's the honest truth. Eating late. Then COVID came, and it was kind of like just eating, and then it was like painting the house, grouting the bathroom, cleaning the gardens, eating, and I just got bigger and bigger.
It's easily done, yeah.
But when you have to take it off, oh my god.
Yeah, it's hard. It's very. I mean, you could go to the gym 3 months and never miss a day, and then take a week off, and that week going back to it, it's an absolute painful experience, right? And that's kind of the way it is, right? And but I'm glad you're into fitness, and we'll have to go swimming one day.
Swimming there,
yeah. This will be a great experience. I'm going to swim with Bhangra, and then we're going to go back to his house. Suckfield True School's coming down, and Steve go that session.
What a day!
Yeah. What a day! But so Bhangra, look, we're coming towards the end, but I want to know what your future plans are. What's in the pipeline?
In the pipeline, I've got a Dharmic song coming out. That should be out in October.
Okay.
It's about Jinda Sukha. And after that, I've got a duet song coming out. And that's a duet song that we recorded. I recorded that with Vibs Baji VIP Records. And I have to mention, before he passed away, that was one of the last projects I did with him. And that should be coming out sort of, I'm hoping towards the end of the year. But with music, sometimes timelines can stretch or what have you. And then after that, the plan is to go to India and do a bit of vlogging and my experience of recordings and videos. Like that.
That'd be fantastic.
So, and just to put that out there,
yeah.
Hopefully it'll work.
I think that'd be fantastic, because if I could give you any advice, and I usually do to everyone that comes on,
please do,
regardless of what genre they're in, right? Vlogging, I think that'd be fantastic for you to do your trip to India, recording, because what you'll be doing is building your platform, your own platform. You know.
Platform ਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਯਾਰ, ਪਰ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਹੋ ਜਾਣੀ ਵੀ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਡਾਇਰੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਬਣ ਜਾਣੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ. And ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਚੇਤਾ ਭੁੱਲ ਜਾਂਦਾ, there's so much in my mind which I think at interviews I should have said and should have done and that. And if I'm vlogged it, it's there in it, and then I can say, okay, I can go back and look at it, or people can just look at it themselves.
Yeah. It's a memory for you as well, right? To look back on the years down the line. And
it's mainly for me, really, a kind of thing, just to something as a diary kind of thing. So that's the idea, and yeah, that's it really. Baki hor raag hor sikhne hai thode je, hai na. In fact, I'm lying there. I'm going to go back and re-practice the rags that I've been taught.
Yeah.
Make them stronger.
Yeah.
And just practice, dude. That's it, really.
Yeah. That's fantastic. I mean, you're saying that's quite a lot going on. There's a few things. There's a lot of work going on there, right? You know. So I mean, good luck for the releases this year. Fingers crossed. I mean, I think everyone's in the same boat as you, because you're not quite sure what's going
to happen or how
COVID situation. We don't know, right? And even going to India, and so fingers crossed. I mean, if you know, for everyone listening, you know, that we get through this. And but you know, Bhangra, it's been fantastic speaking to you. It's great to know more of the person behind the songs, you know, and the character you are, and kind of personality you are behind it, and obviously to let people know, look, all the instruments you play. I mean, for you, I think from your area in the Midlands, everyone will know, you know, Bhangra plays this and this.
Yeah.
But wider, people may not know. They might see you playing the dumbi and then singing the songs, and I think that, you know, but actually there's a raft of talent underneath that, you know, waiting to be unleashed.
Again, Maharaj di kirpa hai, there's mera kuch nahi hai, talent kuch nahi hai. There's just a big, I'm very fortunate that the team that I've got behind me is so great. You know, from like Mark Darcy, who sponsors me, my clothing, to Pura Baji, who teaches me how to sing. Then I've got recording studios, then we've got video studios, visual studios. So it's not just me, dude. I think sometimes sade aage bande more hoke, they take all the, but there's a big team behind me. It's not just me. Record labels, you know, VIP records and stuff like that.
Yeah. Stop being so humble. You are talented.
ਨਹੀਂ ਹੰਬਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਯਾਰ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਫਿਰ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਪੁੱਠੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਫਿਰ ਹੋ ਹੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਪੁੱਠੇ
Yeah, I mean, actually, there's a saying once. Gurdas Mani goes when Kalakar gets famous, or he does ten char reela nikal jandi. He goes, "Ajo, chad jande kene, aja thalle hoy." They bring them back down, don't they? You know, they put them to the top and then they bring them back down.
When I came off stage with the Legends band, Bhutta Paji said to me, he goes, "That was very, very, very good performance. Now don't get a big head." I was like,
okay. Yeah. Well said. I wonder what Marnak would have said something similar probably when he. But look, Bhangra, we'll come to the end. It's been fantastic speaking to you. Like I said, I've really enjoyed it. I hope you have as well. And
I loved it, dude.
Yeah, you'll have to come back on once your releases come out. And
you know what? I'll come when I do Bebe Pal di Henu Tere Vargi. Hey, Gana ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੇ ਐਨ ਵਧੀਆ ਉਹ husband wife ਉਹ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਕੁੜੀ ਨੂੰ ਛੇੜਦਾ.
You're perfect. That's my kind of songs. My kind of songs. Yeah. But Bhangra, look, it's been a real pleasure. We'll speak real soon.
It's been absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much. It's been an honor for me to be here.
Thank you.